I just turned 21, and that's crazy, right? Like, I'm filming this on my birthday. Also, thank you to my mom for sponsoring this mic. Thanks, Mom. I don't call her mom. A lot of people are asking me how I got in Canada. Right now, I know it's hard to go into Canada. There's a lot more rules and a lot more, like, they demand more. But when I got in Canada, I got here as an international student. So, yes, I paid 3 times more the tuition fee of what they do pay here. But yeah, so it started. I graduated high school and I didn't get into the university that I wanted to be in. And that just sucked for me. So I'm like, well, okay, I'm going to Canada then. And no, it was not planned. It was never in my plans to be in Canada. It was never a thought in my head. It was never like, oh, after high school I'm going abroad. No, that was never the case. I thought I was gonna go abroad for work, but not for college, right? So I graduated high school around summer of 2022. And then I'm in the flight to Canada on December 2022, right on Christmas actually. December 26, 2022, I had my flight to Canada. So what are the things that I asked when I went to Canada? So like documents, right? They asked for a passport, obviously, proof of funds. They asked for, like, my school asked for my transcripts. You need to have a certain grade for your English level. So like you had to had, I think it was a 50. But so like obviously I think everybody in the Philippines can get a 50 on English because our school system requires you to have more than that anyways. You can't graduate with like, you can only graduate with an 85 in my school at that time. But I think for most of like public schools, or it was 75 in their grading system was the passing score. So here in Canada it was only 50. So that was great. um so yeah, I got into Canada with all these documents, proof of funds, proof of like um proof of, what do you call this, shelter, living situation, where I'm gonna live here in Canada, where I'm gonna go to study. It's like two different things. You apply for your school first. If you got in, then you apply for a student visa. And thank the Lord I got both. And when you go into Canada, you're gonna get your student permit actually in Vancouver. So when I first landed in Canada, I had to go to immigration and get that paper. They print it out over there. Yeah, you only have a visa until you get to like Vancouver. And then after a while, so I studied mechanical engineering technology for 2 years. It's a 2-year program, but because the one that I took didn't have, like, it was a fast paced one. So it started, I got here actually December 2022, and then my first class was January 2023. So I had like 2 weeks to adjust to a whole new country, whole new world, and then have to go to school, which is like fine. It makes me not think of like the sad things of like moving, which is like, of course you have to like leave your family, your friends, like your whole life, right? Because of this fast-paced environment that I was in, I just never had the time to think about that. And I think right now, in my 21st birthday, I had the time. And it was, like, it's bittersweet, right? Like, yes, I sacrificed so much, but I also gained so much from it. So, yeah, moving on. I did had to go to school for a year and a half because we didn't have summer. So it ended my last exam or class ended on April 2024. It started I started January 2023, ended April 2024 on classes. And it was a pretty fun experience because it's a whole new school, right? It's a whole new environment. But I think it was just too little of a time to actually appreciate it. Because, of course, I had like deadlines and I have like assignments, projects, quizzes every like month. And I did enjoy it. I did, like, school here is really pretty chill in a way because, like, their passing grade is 50. Like, it's so easy to just not do school. In how we do school in the Philippines, where like you just really have to study hard in the Philippines in order to like pass your course or whatever. But in Canada, you just have to like do the bare minimum, honestly. Like in my case, I just did. Well, I don't want to speak for everybody because every one of us like struggle in like different areas, and I don't want to say it's easy and stuff like that. And then there's like other people there that actually have it hard, but I'm just saying in my experience, compared to the Philippines, it's a lot more chill, right? Um, yeah, but yeah, after like a year and a half, I was 19 years old, and then I have to apply for a work permit after, and that's when it started being very very real, because like, oh, now I'm going to like a next step of being in Canada, like a work permit at 19 didn't actually blow my mind, but it was, yeah, it was a step, it was a big step. And then after, so my graduation April 2024, I mean, no, not my graduation, my last class was April 2024. My graduation actually was in June 2024, so it was like 2 months after my last class. And then 2 months after my last class, all those 2 months I worked in like Calgary Stampede actually as a cashier assistant. So we handle the food and then give it to the customer and stuff like that. It's like actually my first real job that like where I paid taxes and everything. Of course, I had like work in the Philippines where I did like for our family business or stuff like that. But like to actually work and see your pay stub and have like tax deductions on it, it's like, it was fun. And yeah, I felt so privileged to think of like working, because it was a minimum working job, right? It was $15 an hour at that. Yeah, it was. Yes, it's $15 an hour minimum here in Calgary, and I did work in Stampede for that, and it's my first and hopefully last minimum paying job. And yeah, I felt so privileged because I just did it for fun, right? Like, I didn't have to work that time because I was just waiting for a work permit, and I can work in like the industry that I actually studied for. But to be able to like experience that was like, it was like one of the highlights of my life, is to be able to work a minimum paying job, because like you just don't have that connection with people in corporate, like with people you work with, or like that fun, right? Like, and it's also Calgary Stampede. Like everybody was just having fun. And I had free tickets to like the rodeo and then and like Stampede at that point. So it was really fun. Then I had my graduation June 2024. 2 weeks after, I got an interview for a job in mechanical designer field. So it's like heating, ventilation, stuff like that, engineering stuff in that industry, engineering industry. I got an interview. After a week, they emailed me and they offered me a job in the industry. So yeah, so like, and after that, then I went to the Calgary Stampede because I told them I can work like middle of July. But then I also worked Calgary Stampede right before that, and it was yeah. So that's why I'm saying I didn't have to work in Calgary Stampede, but I just really wanted to, because I know it was gonna be fun, and it's gonna be like a very good experience for me. Yeah, because Calgary Stampede is a festival that actually just lasts 2 weeks, and I just worked in those 2 weeks. After that, I am in the industry job until now. I am a mechanical designer right now, and my work permit only lasts for 3 years. I still have a year left in it. And I have my PR submitted right now, like my application. They still haven't given me a decision if they're gonna give me a PR, a permanent residency, but I'm hoping they do. Because if they don't, if they don't, it's fine. Because I kind of accepted, like, whatever God has for me. Like, every time I'm doing something, I feel like it's just God telling me, like, I have to do it, right? So if they don't, like, if Canada government didn't give me the pass to, like, stay in Canada, because I am in work permit right now, so I can't stay here for more than 3 years. And if they don't give me a permanent residency, then I have to leave Canada. And I mean, that sucks, but because I already have a life here, I have an apartment, I have friends, I have family here as well, I have my aunt here. Yeah, I have my nephews and nieces here. I already built a life again here. But like, it's also not bad for me to go back to the Philippines and stay there for good. Like, I don't have to go back to the Philippines and stay there, right? Like, I can just go to another country again. And I am very thankful that I have that privilege, actually, to just pick what country I want and go there. Yeah, so if they didn't give me a permanent residency, then hi, Philippines. Yeah, so a lot of people actually do like a tourist visa when their work permit expires. They're gonna apply for a tourist visa so they can stay in the country. But for me, that's like doesn't have a point, because like, what am I gonna pay for my rent? Like, who's gonna pay for my rent? Who's gonna pay for my food? Like, I don't have work. I can't work under a tourist visa. It doesn't make sense for me to stay here as a tourist visa, to just wait for PR. You can wait for it in the Philippines as well. It's not, I don't think there's a rule that you have to be in Canada for them to like say yes to your PR. Yeah, that's basically what happened to me. And like, throughout those experiences, like, it was, right now I've been here for 3 years in Canada, and it's all been like a blur, actually. From 2020, like, ever since COVID happened, I don't think the years has been the same years as I am when I was a kid. I feel like there's just been like one long year from 2020 to like 2026. It felt like it's just one big year. So yeah, if you're trying to go to Canada, my advice is that spend your whole time with your family while you're still in the Philippines, right? And also, like, don't expect too much fun in Canada. Like, it can be fun, but I feel like fun here and fun in the Philippines are two different things. Like, fun here is skiing, hiking, doing all these activities, but doing all those activities cost so much money, right? Like, skiing will cost you $500 a day alone. Like, it doesn't have food or anything, it's just skiing. And in the Philippines, you can have fun with no money, honestly. So, yeah, that's what I miss in the Philippines. It's just fun. Okay, bye guys. Read your Bible. Peace out.